Hey YouTube, welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas Potted Advent Calendar style. Today is day 4 of this series, and if you haven't watched any of my recent videos, this is what we made yesterday, and please be sure to check out days 1 through 3. So let's see what's behind door number 4 today. Each door has a little QR code that you scan, which links to a video tutorial of the project for the day. Okay, and it looks like it's going to be a continuation of the gingerbread man that was made on day 1. So if you haven't watched the day 1 video, flick back now and have a watch of that. But basically, I made this little gingerbread man dish out of air-dried clay, and it has been drying for the last few days. Alrighty, so first thing is to watch the YouTube tutorial on how to make this.
In today's box, you should find base coat and varnish, and brown, black, red, and white paint.
Wait a minute, I didn't have any paint. Let me just go double check what was in it. We've got the stencils, base coat and varnish, sponge, rolling pins, some polymer clay, paintbrush, a knife, some more polymer clay, little candle thing, a couple of packets, some stencils, and our bag of clay, and a little star and some ribbon putting it all together. No, definitely don't see any paint. Okay, so like a true Karen, I jumped onto the website, checked out the FAQs to see if there was anything sus here, and I then actually sent them a message to let them know that, hey, my advent calendar does not have any paint in it. And I was really surprised that they contacted me or responded to my query within less than 24 hours. I was not expecting them to do that. So they sent me an email, and in the email they wrote, "We've identified a small batch of calendars was affected and we're working to resolve this quickly as possible." And then they went on to say that rather than just sending me the 5 paints that were missing, so it's actually 5, they're going to be sending me a full paint set plus another advent calendar. So that was really nice of them. I didn't actually ask for anything when I contacted them. I merely just contacted them to let them know that my calendar was missing something. So they didn't have to send me those paints. However, that being said, I don't have them, and I do have to finish my 12 Days of Christmas series, so I luckily have some of my own supply of acrylic paints, and I needed a brown, black, red, and white for this project, and I did have those colors, so I carried on with my own personal paints. Now here I'm just applying a base coat, so this is the first step for today's project. I did have the base coat that was provided to me. It just kind of looks like white paint. I don't know if it's anything different, but basically the first step is to paint the whole top of the gingerbread man with the white base coat and let it dry. It dries pretty much straight away, really, so you can just keep going on with the project once you've covered the entire man in paint. Next up is painting the gingerbread man brown, all the surface except for the buttons. So I'm using my own brown paint here. I think it is a little bit darker than what the paint they provided. So I actually did 2 coats, and then the second coat I lightened it up a little bit so it wasn't so dark. Once the body of the gingerbread man is painted, the next step is to paint the buttons. So they're painted with a red color. So I again had some red paint, so I just painted them with my own paint, and I did do 2 coats again just to make sure the red was nice and solid and bright. Okay, and now we're painting some squiggly white lines just along the arms and the legs. So I actually used one of my own paintbrushes for this. It was a little bit smaller than the one provided because I felt like the detail work was a little bit too fine. And I took my time with this just to make sure I didn't make a bit of a mess of the lines and went over them with the white paint a few times. Okay, and now we're making the face, so 2 black dots. Sorry, it's upside down. I was looking at it from the other direction. So just using the tip of my paintbrush to make 2 big dots and then drawing a little smiley face with some black paint. Okay, so it's looking pretty good so far, and the final step is to paint it with a coat of varnish, which was in the kit. to give it a nice little shine. And now my varnish is all dry. Here's my finished product. It doesn't quite look like the tutorial video, but I do think it still turned out quite cute and I'm happy with this. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with it yet, but maybe I'll just pop it up on a shelf for display purposes. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see the rest of my Advent calendar series, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. See you next time!